back, guys. We back. Look like we might be back. Look like we might be good. Give me a one if everything sounds good, sounds lovely. Let me know. I'm having some major technical issues right now, so y'all help me out. Give me a one if everything sounds good. What's happening? I think we might be good now. Good grief. The ops trying to hate me out, look like. But it's gonna take more than some tech issues to stop a trap, y'all. You understand? It's gonna take more than that to stop a trap. I think we good now. So we gonna go and crank this thing on up before the ops get the best of me. You understand? I appreciate all the love and support, man. Good grief. That was a rough start, but you might think you at school or maybe even at home or watching me through a phone. But I promise you are in the trap, sir. Trap. I promise. Trap. Make no mistake about it, man. See, y'all thought we went in the trap, but we was in the trap. That's the reason this stuff ain't working, huh? You know, it happens to the best of us. You know, CBS, ABC, NBC, all the letter networks, they have trouble too, man. So, you know, it happens sometimes. It is trap. We do it live. We do it live. Like, all I did was start it over. So, hey, it looks like that might have worked. We don't know. Excuse me. But I did want to talk about some of the things that we seen from the game the other day. And it was a hot take out there about our young rookie defensive tackle out of Michigan, Mazi Smith, sir. And I didn't want to take nobody's word for it. I wanted to see it myself, you understand? That's how we do it over here in the trap. I don't take nobody's word. I look at the film for myself. And to be honest, you know, it wasn't the best. I'm going to just be real with y'all. It wasn't the best. You know? But I will say, I think it does have a lot to do with what you expected from Mr. Mazi Smith. Because some of y'all acting like y'all expected Aaron Donald out the gate.
It's me, I'm him, I'm not them. I'm him Jones, I'm him Duncan.
If you was expecting Aaron Donald out the gate, then that's shame on you. Because we told you that normally, typically, it takes a defensive tackle some years to develop and get up to par, up to speed at that position. It's hard for a young guy to come in here as a young man and push around grown men. It's just not something typical. Do you think, if you're a man with a son, do you think your son can manhandle you, sir? Trap. Somebody answer me that. Riddle me that. You know, some people might have a big son. They like, landlord, my son might get me. I don't know. But typically, you know, a son wouldn't be able to handle his dad, you know what I'm saying, or an older man. Let's say, for instance, your son's 17 and you 30-something, or you know what I'm saying? He's going to have a hard day if you tell him to move him around. But most defensive tackles was not like that out the gate. And one thing I want you to understand, too, Mazi does have some time to be transitioning as well, bro. He's not just a finished, ready-made product. He might be a semi-oven kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what I expected from any defensive tackle. I said this before. If y'all follow me, y'all know this ain't cap. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Y'all know this now. Listen. What did I say? The reason I didn't want a defensive tackle is because of that reason right there, that very reason. I said I didn't want a defensive tackle because I know they impact wouldn't be able to be just super great coming out the gate. I said that in the beginning of the year, before the draft. So, you know, I think people being a little too hard on Mazi Smith for the first couple preseason games. Like, bro, get a man at least a chance to get his feet up under him. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I did see him getting moved around. You know what I'm saying? He was looking like he didn't know where he was going at all, basically. But it looks like in the preseason, man, they probably just told Mazi, go out there and try to see what you can do. See what kind of stuff you can pick up on. Because you could tell I seen him when he did penetrate, he'll move a dude in one direction, but the play going another way. That right there lets you know that he's not aware of none of the plays yet. He don't know nothing about the tendencies. Preseason is all the way it's kind of like vanilla. So nobody has tendencies in preseason. So you pretty much don't know what the world these people doing. You understand? Trap. So maybe when you get to the regular season, Mazi will be able to pick up more on the offensive tendencies of these teams. DQ will give them some more, knowledge and things to look at. Because if you playing in the preseason, nobody has tendencies. That's a fact. Everybody's trying to be as vanilla as possible. So I'm not going to just bury Mazi because of this. I'm going to just say, hey, he had a rough outing. He did. It is a fact. They was moving him around a little too much, a little more than what I like. But this is to be expected from a young player. I want people to understand that. Maybe maybe some people had way too many lofty goals and high expectations for him out the gate. Just give a man time to grow. He's a young player. Give him time to grow and get stronger, get acclimated to the game, catch up with the game speed, all of these things. It's going to take a little time for Mazi, and I expect it really nothing different, Trap. We know it takes more than athleticism. The man is gifted. He's a freak of nature alone. He's a very big, strong guy, but you can't do nothing if you lacking in your technique. All of this is knowledge. A lot of this stuff, I seen Mazi. This right here gonna let you know that this coachable stuff, that's the problem with Mazi Smith. I seen him, I think that was 75 he was going up against. I seen him going up against 75, right? 75 pushed him back one play, and Mazi went straight to the ground. So I'm like, bro, I know Mazi can do better than that. So when you look closer at it, it's basically like Mazi didn't get the right leverage. You seen him, his foot kind of stuttered. That let you know he was off balance. The very next play, he did way better. So it's just little nuanced technique stuff that they're going to have to coach Mazi up. It's not a strength issue. It's basically leverage, and it's understanding exactly what's going on with the play, what you want to do, how to disengage. All of this stuff is coachable. So it's not like, oh, I don't see no talent from this dude. Most of this stuff is coachable, and we got some good coaches. Aiden Durd and them, they going to get him up to speed. They going to get Mr. Mazi Smith right. But like we said, he's not a finished product. He is growing, and he has more and more things to work on. And this is what? The preseason. What better place to work on it than the preseason, sir? Trap. Y'all don't even want nobody to practice in preseason, do it. You know what I'm saying? People up there like, Mazi's supposed to be a Pro Bowler right now. He's supposed to be Aaron Donald, Warren Sapp. You understand? Right now, sir. What better place to work on your craft than the preseason? What better place to get double teamed and, start to understand the speed of the game and the scheme and stuff than preseason? I believe Mazi Smith will be fine, Mr. King G. Exactly. I think Mazi's going to be fine. It's just going to take more time than some people would like. We are the Cowboys, bro. We are America's team. We got to understand this.
We are America's team. The most watched, the most hated. Y'all don't like us, but y'all tuning in every Sunday.
See, we are America's team, so we understand its pros and cons that come with that, right? We are the greatest fan base in the world. We got the best fans in the world. We got the most fans in the world. And in that pile of people, you're going to have positive people. You're going to have negative people. You're going to have naysayers. You're going to have people who overhype people as well. But the thing about it is, in Dallas, it's going to be a way quicker clock. You know what I'm saying? You can't hide and be low-key in Dallas. Everybody got a microscope on every player, basically. So Mazi development would be regular if he was in any other place, but you in Dallas. That's why you see it headline everywhere. That's why you see big time threads all on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. Everybody's discussing what Mazi Smith does. Tell me this. How many defensive tackles get this much? Tell me this. How many defensive tackles get this much coverage? It ain't many defensive tackles get this much coverage. Hopefully it'll get right, man. I don't know. Look like we back. But tell me this, answer me this, riddle me this. How many defensive tackles that get this much coverage? Because I don't know no other defensive tackle in the league that got this much coverage.
Trap.
Dang, my Wi-Fi tripping. What's going on? I don't know what's going on today, y'all. We must be having some outages in the area. Because it is looking a little shaky right now. Yeah, it look like we having some outages in the area, y'all. So y'all gonna have to bear with me. But it look like it's back. It look like it's back. But tell me this. Answer me this. One more time before my internet get crazy, you know. How many defensive tackles get this much coverage? This man been on headline everywhere. See, that's just the effects of being America's team. Everybody knows this. You will be headline news. Mazi Smith, the only defensive tackle that's finna be talked about on the network, TV shows, and all of that, man. So that should let you know exactly what you're dealing with. No other team outside of Dallas will be discussing their defensive tackle that much, you know. Look, we got great defensive tackles in the NFC East. And you never hear about these dudes.
Trap.
Answer me that. Am I lying? So I'm not trying to cover for him. I'm just letting you see the difference between playing for Dallas and playing for another team. We got Dexter Lawrence in this division. Nobody talks about that dude. Nobody talks about Jonathan Allen. Them dudes is great. They Pro Bowlers. We don't even get that type of topics. They don't get that kind of coverage as this rookie. That lets you know that's just the power of that machine that we got here in Dallas. So it's going to always be overhyped. It's going to always be overanalyzed, overcriticized for every player that we got that wear that star on their helmet. That's just part of the business right there. But mark my words, Mazi gonna get it together. He had a rough outing. That's true. That's nothing. It's nothing to try to dodge or try to lie about. He had a rough outing. But I'm telling you right now, when he gets alongside these other players and the real defense and start to pick up some of this nuanced stuff, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Shout out to Coach Marv. He says, landlord, I watched the game 2 times and Jabril Cox and Hopper played just as good or better than Overstone played against Jacksonville. Ooh, Coach coming in hot.
Trap.
Now, I just seen my boy Jabril Cox playing ball too, Coach, but they don't want to talk about that, Coach. They don't see that happen. They going to say, it was the 8th team. See, this is something that we need to realize too, Coach. Most people, when they see a player that they was low on play good, they gonna start saying, the competition was not great. The competition wasn't up to par. Let's see him against the West Pro Bowl team. They gonna want the level of competition to be just elite, all elite players, for them to give a player they was low on some credit. See, I don't operate like that. You play who you in front of, and Jabril Cox was moving sideline to sideline, making plays. I seen him make a couple of tackles, and he was looking instinctive, and he was looking fast too. And I'm high on Devin Harper. Devin Harper was making plays against Jacksonville. I haven't loaded up the ones against Seattle yet, but hey, Devin Harper was making plays against Jacksonville. I was happy with what I seen for him. Making hits. He was very instinctive. Look how quickly he diagnosed the play. Play there, boom, I'm there. See, that's stuff that you can't coach from a linebacker. I like that play right there. That right there showed me how heady he is. And some people ain't going to peep that. Watch this. Look at the play recognition. As soon as he see the play going that way, his foot was in the dirt going to make the tackle. So he diagnosed plays very fast too, in my opinion, for basically a rookie. He had a red shirt year last year, so I think Devin Harper comes right in and ball out, in my opinion. He showed coverage ability. He coming in, making plays in the backfield. Like, what more do you want from a linebacker? Look at him covering. Devin Harper covering all the way. Then he noticed, bam, go and make the tackle. So, hey, he made an open field tackle. He's not letting people trick him. Look at the coverage, play recognition, go make the play. Devin Harper was playing ball against the Jaguars. So, make no mistake about it. I seen what I needed to see from this kid this game. Look at him in the backfield, making plays, wiggling, finding little creases, shooting the gaps. That's what he doing. And we don't see that from all of our linebackers either. Trap. Shooting gaps. Shooting gaps. That's something you seen from Devin Harper, and that's something that we need to see from this whole team, whole defense. So I'm pretty comfortable with Devin Harper coming in, taking over. Like, that's who I actually wanted to see get more reps. I didn't want to see it in this capacity, but I wanted to see him get more reps anyway. I don't know if y'all remember, last year during preseason, a lot of y'all don't follow me on Twitter, unfortunately, you know. But if you follow me on Twitter, I made a tweet and said, man, hey, Devin Harper out there balling. And when most people weren't even talking about him, I said, hey, 50 out there making plays, 50 out there ringing bells. And, hey, next thing you know, he ended up getting an injury, and he kind of fell out of rotation. He kind of fell off the map. But I feel like he could step right in, Coach. Like, real talk. I don't have no worries about him. Miss Ugata says, to be fair, I can't really say if others are getting as much scrutiny as Mazi because I'm too wrapped up in studying the Cowboys players right now. Yeah, see, the thing about it is I just wanted to make a comparison to let you see these are some of the best players in football. Dexter Lawrence and Jonathan Allen, they some of the best players in football. You don't even hear nobody talking about these dudes. But our little rookie out of Michigan out here making headline news everywhere. See, that just lets you know this is just some over scrutinized cowboy media type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Who did y'all want him to be coming out the gate? He said, John Sullivan says, what do you think about bringing Story Jackson for a cup of coffee? Bro, Story, if you just start following me, John, you might need to go back and see my video from last year. Story Jackson was one of my favorite guys, and he ended up not making the team, and it just sucked to me because he was ringing bells out there. But he didn't turn out to be much where he went. I think he went to the Browns. But Story was one of my favorite guys. He was a HBCU guy, or I know he was a UDFA, but I think he came from Liberty. And Story was ringing bells over there, man. So he was a hard-nosed linebacker that was ringing bells. He kind of reminded me of Donovan Wilson at linebacker because he was going to hit you. But the Cowboys picked all other players over him. I really didn't understand why. But I was very fond of Story Jackson. I wouldn't have let him go. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I would have definitely put Story out there. What's happening with the JC Cowboy Network in the building? What's happening? Y'all make sure y'all go follow him and his work. What's happening with your Big Dad 8604? But another take I seen too. Another thing I noticed on tape. That boy Junior Fehoko was making some plays out there, y'all. Trap. He's pretty much been the mystery man on this whole team because everybody know he came from a small school. Everybody know he had some traits of a high motor and stuff like that. He was able to have some position flex. He was a defensive end and a defensive tackle. The Cowboys said they wanted to put him at defensive tackle. But we seen some of that versatility yesterday, man. The other day. We seen some of that versatility. I seen him rushing off the end with his hand in the dirt, and I seen him standing up. So Junior Fehoko might make a lot of noise if he be able to get on this team. So it's a deep room he in. You know, I don't know if they're going to count his draft stock. I mean, not draft stock, but I don't know if they're going to count his roster spot as a defensive tackle or a defensive end. That's yet to be seen, but maybe he can make his way on the team or in the practice squad. Excuse me. But it's nice to have players like that just in case somebody get hurt. We got some reinforcements coming in. Just like Chauncey Golston. This is another player that nobody's talking about. Chauncey Golston was making plays too. Chauncey is a very, he's like a wild card to me. He's a forgotten man in his defense, too.
Trap.
Chauncey Golston, 99, he is a very forgotten dude, and I see a lot of capabilities of him. He's versatile. That's one thing you know Dan Quinn like is versatility. He's pretty much a tweener, and he get reps in the inside and on the outside. But you seen Chauncey like on the second team, third team yesterday, but he was still making plays. He was still popping off the screen. It was a couple of players popping off the screen for the Cowboys that we give no credit to or we don't even discuss. But I'm very fond of what I seen from Golston too. I think it's a role for him on this team too. Like, it's a role for Golston too. Yeah, he definitely making the team. I think so too. Even in a deep room, he's still gonna make the team because I seen him popping out the screen. He got a lot of versatility. He's a strong dude. You can put him in defensive tackle and on the end. He can do both. They trying to convert him too. That's one thing we gotta realize. See, when the Cowboys do stuff like that, not when the Cowboys do stuff like that, when any football team do stuff like that, that player automatically deserve a little grace right then. Automatically.
Trap.
When you take a player and change his position, he deserve a little grace because that's not what he was built for. You the one experimenting with him. You the one who making him into something else. So he deserves a little grace, a little time to adjust and get better at what y'all want him to do because he was already a defensive end. Now you want him to be a defensive tackle. HTM said who he gonna make it in over then because they not keeping 7 DTs. So who the DTs you got already listed then? Okay, wait. Because even though Neville Gallimore playing ball, I don't know if he going to be able to hold his spot. He looked good the last couple preseason games. But the only reason I ain't going to put too much stock in it is because he looked good at what we always knew he looked good at. He looked good as a pass rusher. We never really questioned Neville as a pass rusher. He's a pass rushing defensive tackle. And, we got plenty of pass rushers. We don't need that. That's the reason why we look at Neville and be like, we good. We don't need a pass rushing defensive tackle. We need a run stuffing defensive tackle. That's the thing about it. That's the difference. So Neville was looking good at doing the normal stuff that Neville do. So everybody just like, well, that's not what we was evaluating you for. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know what Neville do all the time. He's a penetrator. But I don't know if Neville gonna be able to keep his spot. Jay Werder said Neville is out of here. It's like I said, even though he's been looking good, that's not what we want to see from you. So HTM says so Neville or Chauncey, because neither are true ones. They ain't. But I probably go. I think I've seen enough from Neville, though. I'm going to just be real. I think Chauncey got more upside at this point because we done gave Neville years. So are you going to choose a guy who you done seen pretty much didn't give you what you wanted for years, or you got a young guy who got a chance to work his way up? Coach Miles said, landlord, didn't the Eagles drafted all-world Jordan Davis last year, and he very little playing time and not a word said. Exactly, Coach. Exactly. Because you want to know why? Because they play at filthy Philadelphia.
Trap.
But look, Coach, them the same people who they let troll them about Mazi Smith. The same people who got Jordan Davis over there who didn't even who didn't even get on the field. Them the people who they gonna let troll them about Mazi. Oh, Mazi Smith ain't did nothing. You should see these people all over Twitter. Them the same people who dogging out Mazi Smith, but they ain't saying nothing about Jordan Davis. And who was supposed to be a better defensive tackle? Jordan Davis supposed to be the next thing, best thing since sliced bread, sir.
Trap.
Mazi Smith when the same caliber of DT as Jordan Davis supposed to be. But you don't hear nobody dogging out Jordan Davis. You really forgot the man was on their team last year. Now pay attention. Let this same thing happen What happened to Jordan Davis in Philadelphia, let that happen with Mazi Smith in Dallas, and watch how much coverage you get. You ain't going to forget Mazi Smith on this team, and you ain't going to forget he was a first-round pick. You ain't going to forget none of that. They going to be like, man, Mazi is a bust. They going to say that all year.
Trap.
But don't fall for it, because that's what they want you to do. That's what they want you to do. That was a good point by you, Coach. Mr. Michael Lockhart says 54 likes and 90 in the chat. Oh, no. We can't do that now. You got me looking like this young man, walking around with my head down. How you gonna disappoint the baby? You got me staring out the window. Now I gotta hit that ugly cry. Oh my goodness. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that, man. Y'all don't behave that way. Don't pretend to be an Eagle fan. Every time you don't hit the like button, an Eagle fan busts out with a smile. You don't want to make them happy. We don't throw oops to the ops, man. That's going to be my new t-shirt. No oops to the ops. We don't want to help the ops hate on your team. We don't want to help the ops be happy. We want them to suffer. You understand? That's what they deserve to do. They don't deserve to be happy, you know? No oops to the ops, y'all. No oops to the ops. Jordan Davis was on the sidelines with oxygen masks, and the Eagles were all being pushed around the whole game. Exactly. But you don't hear nobody talking about that at all. At all. But they gonna just make sure they put out attention on your rookie. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Mazi ain't did nothing. What about Jordan Davis? What about what the dude named the linebacker? They said that was gonna be better than Michael Parsons. What happened to that dude? See, you don't hear no. We be letting them boys off too easy, cause they always gonna troll us. We don't care about them. I get it. We don't care about them, so we just let them go on about their business. But they gonna forever try to troll us about anything. So we gotta reciprocate that energy sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We be letting them boys off too much. We let them off too much. Jay Word said, landlord, they drafted at his position in the first round. Something to think about, Jordan Davis. Exactly. How many defensive tackles y'all need over there in Philly now? Then think about this. Well, the Cowboys got a decent run game, but Washington run game ain't just superior like that. The Giants got Barkley, but they run game just ain't superior like that. Like, who y'all suiting up for then? You know what I'm saying? Maybe they suiting up for the 49ers, though. The 49ers got a decent run game. Maybe they feel like they suiting up for them. Yeah, N'Kobe Dean. Well, they said he was going to be better than Michael Parsons, remember? Oh, y'all remember that. Remember. That boy said he was going to, I know a couple of their content creators said they were going to be better than Michael Parsons. And we ain't seen nothing like that, nothing of the sort. Eric Wallace says, what did Davis need an oxygen mask? That game wasn't in Denver. Exactly. Like he gotta adapt to the climate or something. Nah, he just was gassed. He was gassed. JC Cowboys Network says Georgia is a stout school, but in the NFL, different story. Big boy football. Exactly. See, a lot of them big dudes, they just get away with it because they bigger than everybody. But in the NFL, everybody's big, everybody's strong. So you got to figure out different ways to get an advantage, different ways to win. Just like Mazi. Mazi going to have to figure out different ways to disengage and stuff. He just can't just throw people to the side like he used to in college. That's going to just be a little learning hurdle that he got to get over. This is natural stuff for any young player, y'all. It's natural stuff. Once he start figuring this stuff out, it's going to get easier. Just like Michael. Michael was good coming out the gate, but as far as the nuance stuff, Michael didn't know no nuance stuff. Now he's just not getting his hands to be deadly well. He disengaged on like almost automatically. Michael, you remember when Michael first got here? Michael didn't have no plan. If Michael lost on his first get off, he was just gonna be blocked. That was rookie Michael. You don't see that no more. Michael got a series of moves, a combo of moves for him to get away from you and disengage and go pursue the quarterback now. One one good Stonewall ain't gonna stop Micah now. Rookie Micah, he was just like, he was Stonewall. Off of his first move, he'll have one move, and then that was it. If you got him off that one move, he would pretty much block. But you don't see that no more. It takes growth. You got to learn those new ones, techniques to get over all these different moves and different situations that you find yourself in. And that was a different kind of player. Micah was just different. And he still had to learn some nuanced stuff to get off of these blocks and disengage with these players and learn how to combat that first impact and that first contact. So that's something that people got to realize, man. Every single rookie got to have that. It's going to be a learning curve for every single rookie. 100%. You can't even fault that. Yeah, you got him with that one, Coach Mob. Like that made them. That should make them go sit down and shut up right there, Coach. That should make them sit down and shut up, because they the ones who hollering all this stuff and then about Mazi Smith, and then our fans go co-sign that BS. That's what the problem is. Choctaw Montana in the bed, and he said, landlord from Alabama, go look at why these teams built their DTs up for. Who you think it is for Choctaw? Maybe Zeke. Maybe Zeke back then. Maybe Zeke, that's what you saying? Because Zeke was a problem with us when he was, in his day. So maybe they was building up for Zeke back then. Maybe so. But I'm talking about now, what they drafting two DTs back-to-back right now for? I say they doing it for San Fran. Because once you build for your division, you got to build for the conference too. If you trying to get, to the next level. JC says Michael was so good. He was playing hero ball early on. The more he learns, the more dominant he will be. He hasn't reached his ceiling yet. Facts. Yeah, that's the truth. It's scary to think that Michael Parsons is still learning. Yeah, it's like that. We got some young, talented players, y'all. Like, look, just think, Trayvon Diggs is just in his 4th year. He's still learning. Like, people don't realize that, hey, just because you've been in the league a few years, that don't mean your development stopped. Development still continues throughout the league. You know what I'm saying? So that's something you got to realize too. I don't even think Trey reached his ceiling yet. That's what's crazy. I don't think Trey reached his ceiling yet. So it's still some young players. We got young stars on this team. That's what I think a lot of people get confused. They don't realize that we have young stars. We don't have just these old guys who've been around forever. These boys is young. Mike in his 3rd year. Trey in his 4th year. You know what I'm saying? These dudes is young stars. So they still learning and still developing at the same time. Iceberg Slim says, where Isaiah Land seems to be ahead of the curve, tossing tackles and tight ends, he's the second best player we drafted this year. I think that's a good segue. How about this? Okay, I wouldn't say that. I see you do gotta see this on a consistent basis. But Isaiah first step, that's what I'm a fan of. If he can keep that first step, man, you can't really coach that. You can't coach a first step like that. That's just explosiveness. That's athleticism. That boy been putting in that sand work, y'all. He been putting in that sand work. Trap. That's that resistance training paying off, because he got that first step on lock. But, like, I think it's early, but right now, let's evaluate what we done seen from this draft class so far. Because what's interesting is the top end, most people ain't going to be too fond of this right now, this second, August 21st, 11:41 a.m. Most people ain't going to be too high on the front end of this draft. But what's interesting is the back end looks very strong. So, okay, Mazi Smith from training camp to now, what kind of grade would y'all give Mazi Smith? I already know y'all mad at him, so it's probably going to be low right now. From training camp to preseason game 2, what kind of grade would you give him? Y'all let me know. What would you give Mazi? I already know it's going to be low. Somebody said a D. Okay. What kind of grades would y'all give him from training camp to preseason game 2? Preseason game 2. Let's see. Let me make sure, because I think this draft class is going to be dope, low-key. I think this draft class is going to be dope. Y'all run them answers up. Y'all run them answers up because I think this draft class finna overall be kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be pretty dope because the back end is way stronger than we all thought. The back end is looking sensational right now. The back end is looking sensational because most people just thinking about the first 2 picks who most people ain't happy about right now. But the back end is sensational. Okay, let's see. Mazi Smith, grade time. Marky says D. T. Roy says C+. Jay Werder says C+. Brian Bradford says B. Iceberg says D. Choctaw says B-. That's pretty good from Choctaw. Now, Choctaw one of them teachers that you don't want to grade the paper. Choctaw, I know, but you a hard grader. So if he got a B- from Choctaw, hey, that's good. C. Burleson with a D. Tyler with a D. Miss Ugata says C. Okay. 5-time champ says C. DeQuincy says C. DeQuincy, I don't know if I can trust you. Is that for Dak Prescott or what? Everything DeQuincy say is for Dak. You know, you got to watch him. It's too easy with a C. Okay. It's pretty like an average grade. And look, what's so crazy, that's exactly what he should be really. Trap. Stephen Clark with a C. Triple D with a C+. Willie B with a B. Willie T with a B. My bad. But Eric Wallace says B range. See, that's exactly where he should fall, bro. Defensive tackle, a young one, it's hard to be sensational. It's hard to wow the crowd. It's not a sexy position, bro. It's just not. You're not going to see these Hall of Fame highlight plays from a defensive tackle. Not no rookie. You're just not. So it's going to be hard to win a lot of people over as a rookie. Okay. Now the second one, like I said, the top end of this draft is looking a little shaky so far. Okay, you got the tight end out of Michigan as well, Mr. Luke Schoonmaker. So from training camp to now, he has been hurt. So it's going to kind of be a hard grade, but we're going to take every grade we get with a grain of salt so far. So, with Luke Schoonmaker from training camp to now, what would you grade the young man? That's a hard grade, though. But just out of the little stuff you've seen, what would you grade him? Mazi need the criticism. I think all players need criticism. If it's fair, he need criticism. Know what I'm saying? If it's fair, you need to be held accountable. Now, all the crazy stuff, when people just saying stuff for no reason and blaming the wrong people, that's different. Columbus Hill says, hit that like button, Cowboy Nation, and beat the algorithm. Exactly, sir. Exactly. Shout out to you. You do stuff like that, I might have to mod you up, sir. You know, because we need them likes to run up. For sure. Let's see. Choctaw, don't be up here being mean now. He a pile of poo. Klaus. Man, he said thus far has been a B-. So how you gonna, wait a minute. So you saying he a B-, but you just dissed him like that? Or you saying he a B- at being a pile of poo? What you saying? I can't, you being a little too nefarious, Choctaw. You being a little too nefarious. T. Roy says D need to see more. That's fair. Tremont Clark says D. Miss Patrice says D. He said F+. Wait a minute, Choctaw. Now you too wrong for that. Brian says incomplete. I think that's fair. DeQuincy says C. Darren says Z. Man, y'all wilding out. Y'all wilding out, man. Y'all wilding out. You gotta say it's incomplete. So y'all should say I then, right? He get an I. Thomas A. Garrett says B-. That's because I'm a homer. Oh, man, you gonna admit to being a homer. That's real, though. That's solid, though, Thomas. I ain't gonna count. Michael Lockhart says C+. Willie T says C. Why I keep trying to give your name another letter, man? I don't know. Iceberg Slim says C+. Choctaw, we already got your grade. Going on somewhere now. You're being too nefarious, sir. C. Burleson says B-. DeQuincy says C. Texas Brown says D-. Darren gonna say Z again, bro. We got you the first time, sir, okay? We got you the first time. Yo, Miss Gina, tell them, man, you hit that like button. We got your fresh fried bologna sandwich.
Fried bologna sandwiches. Fried bologna is so good, it's a different meal than cold bologna.
Absolutely.
I feel like when you burn bologna, you burn the poverty out of the taste. I can't eat cold bologna sandwiches. It tastes totally different.
Facts, man. Some of y'all don't know nothing about them burnt edges, sir. Some of y'all don't know nothing about them burnt edges. Josh Ball is a D+. We wouldn't even talk about Josh Ball, Hoodlum. Relax. Miss Jenna says C-. Mafia Mice in the building says everyone on the defensive line get a D. So, okay, I'm sure everybody was low on Mazi and Schoonmaker. But check this out. This is what this draft starts shining at to me, in my opinion. What would y'all grade DeMarvion Overstone for what y'all seen, you know? He hurt. And then the two players that we was low on, I think they got upside. I think they'll be fine. Schoonmaker might not be Gronkowski year 1 or 2, but I think he going to be solid. I really think he might end up being solid. He got what it is about him. I think what people looking at with Schoonmaker, I think what's gonna shock a lot of people is he don't have that loud type of game. I believe Schoonmaker actually got to me, he's like one of them players that got a lot of fundamentals. His fundamentals is on point. So that's some stuff that you ain't gonna see. Like his blocking assignments, he was on point. I seen him chip blocking people. I seen him actually being physical out there. So you're not gonna be able to highlight nobody fundamentals. You really gonna kind of be numb to it. You're gonna be like, well, he just doing what he supposed to do. Yeah, he's smart enough, he's heady enough to be in the right position all the time. That's a great attribute to have, especially at tight end. You need to be on your assignment. So I think Schoonmaker is an older player. He's 25 already, I believe. So he's going to be on assignment. He's going to be pretty fundamentally sound. So now we just got to see what he can do as far as being a receiver. But I ain't going to lie to y'all. I think Schoonmaker going to be all right, though. But Mazi Smith, we said young defensive tackle is going to take time. So all them two players that we just talked about, I still think it's still some upside for them, and I think they're going to be fine. I'm not worried about neither one of those guys, really. But, okay, DeMarvion Overstone. We already know that Overstone was looking spectacular. This is where this draft started to shift a little bit, even if you is low on them two. DeMarvion showed us that he's a missile out there. He's sideline to sideline. He's rangy. And he was physical. He was showing some leadership qualities, man. This dude was showing everything you needed to see. So, hey, that might be an A+. Man, DeMarvion Overstone probably should have been a second-round pick or something, the way he performed for us so far in the preseason and training camp. So, we understand he got hurt, but we just judging the sample size that we seen. DeMarvion looked spectacular to me. Okay, what most people gave him, though. I think it was high grades for him. Okay, Lil Tyler says A. 5-time champ says A. Hoodlum says B. Miss Patrice says B. Triple D says A. Miss Gina says B. Plus Brian Baffert says A. T. Roy says A. DeQuincy says B. Tremaine Clark says B. Jay Worthy says A+. He was flying around. Iceberg says B+. Mazi Smith would be good. But that game, he was trash, just being real. He had a bad game. You Got It says D is for the defense. Texas Brown says A-. Eric Willis says, as a Seahawk guy, I go all in A+. Tracy Hodge says A. And let's see. Most people high. You should be pretty high on Overstone. Anything under a B, I might be a little concerned. Joe Tranchina, what you talk about over there, Mr. Joe? You ain't like what you saw from Mr. Overstone, Joe? That's crazy. I don't know. I like what I seen from him. Anything under a B, I'm kind of concerned. Okay, now you go to Viami. He was the 4th round pick. We ain't seen much. That's going to be a hard judge right there. That's going to be a hard judge. So, what y'all seen from Viami Fehoko, Mr. Junior? I don't know. I don't even know if we should do him right now, but what I just seen from this last game, when he did get his reps, he was looking effective. And now, I know the competition wasn't superior, but, hey, that's who they lined him up in front of, and he looked like he was pretty good to me. I ain't going to lie. I seen him penetrating. I seen him being a disruptor. I seen him in the backfield a lot of the times last game. So, I think Fehoko got a little juice to him, too. So, let's see. Michael Lockhart says, is that for, I guess that's for Overstone. Okay. I'm going to stop at Joe for Overstone. It's Too Easy might be talking about Overstone. Okay. I'm going to start at DeQuincy. He says incomplete. Michael, you talking about, you must be talking about DeJuan with a, what round DeJuan went in? I don't know if you're talking about Fehoko or Overstone. Or Schoonmaker at that point. I thought he went like in the second. I can't remember where DeJuan Jones went. Bruce got the Tyson Juice says Junior Fehoko had quarterbacks running for dear life. He did. He was in the backfield a lot, bro. He was in the backfield a lot. I'm gonna take another look at that when I get done with this. I might do a film session on him, cause a lot of people been interested in what he was doing. So we gonna have to check that out. Michael Lockhart says C. I think C is fair because we ain't seen enough. But what about the rookie offensive tackle, Asim Richards? He been balling though. Trap. Asim Richards been balling, and he been putting up numbers. I think they said he had like 59 snaps and like no pressure, like 2 pressures and no quarterback hits in the Jaguars game, and he did the same thing. He balled out this game too. And the last game in the Jaguars game, he started out as a tackle and then moved to guard like in the second half. So, hey, Asim Richards doing big things for him and his draft status. I like what I'm seeing from the young kid. So, that's a 5th round pick that's going to pay dividends. He look like he's going to definitely be somebody who could be depth in this offensive line and really pay some dividends for us. So, what y'all grading Asim Richards so far? I think he might deserve like a B, maybe a B or better. He might deserve a B or A or something because he been doing good especially for a 5th round pick. He been doing good, especially for a 5th round pick. Choctaw, that's for Asim. I don't know how you pronounce it, but one of those. Brian Bradford says B. Eric Wallace says B+. C. Burleson says B. Okay. And y'all know, typically in a draft, most of these recruiters, they want to do good with at least 2 players out of the draft. You know what I'm saying? All they asking for is like 2 starters or something. Okay, Triple D says B-. Okay, that's fair. Asim Richards gets an A-. Okay. I think Asim Richards deserve a good grade, man, because he's been pretty solid. He's been solid. We grading on we pretty much grading the whole rookie 2023 draft class right now, but we own Asim Richards, the 5th round tackle out of, I think he out of North Carolina or something. Yeah, Asim Richards. So we grading on what we done seen so far from training camp to preseason game number 2. What would you grade him? John Gilbert says B. Michael Lockhart says B+. Okay. Shout out to Night Owl Cowboy in the building on Facebook. What's happening, sir? Chris Hegan. Brendan says BT. I don't know what the T for. I get it though. B. John Cofield says B. Thomas A. Garrett says B. I think Asim Richards doing good. Okay, now this gonna be a little iffy. This one gonna be a tad bit iffy. I tell y'all that right now. We got Eric Scott Jr. What would y'all grade Eric Scott Jr.? Because training camp before the preseason started, I think people would have gave him an A or something.
Trap.
Before training camp started, they would have gave this boy an A. They would have gave Eric Scott an A. But I think the first game, I think he was okay. But the second game, I think he kind of struggled a little bit, which is expected from a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So what would y'all grade Mr. Eric Scott Jr. so far? What would y'all grade be for Eric Scott Jr.? I don't know. The next comment, that's where I'm going to start it at. So y'all let me know. DeQuincy says C. That's probably fair because he had a spectacular count with an okay preseason. So the average will be probably a C. That might be fair. Bruce says C for Scott. Michael Lockhart says C. Top of the morning to you too, Mr. Darren. Chata says D. Good grief. I rock in the building. What's happening? He says Eric gets a C. I think a C is pretty fair. I think a C is fair because he did so good in camp and then preseason he been a little rocky. You know, maybe the bright lights got him. Maybe he had butterflies in his stomach or something. Chata, good grief. But I think C is fair. I think C is fair. John Cofield says B. Joe Tranchina says C+. I think that's fair. A C is a pretty good grade for him. Even though he started out so strong, he still got another preseason game to bring up his score. So we ain't going to worry about that too much. I think he's doing good. But, I don't know if y'all heard of this next guy. You might have seen him some, Deuce Vaughn,
Trap.
What y'all think about y'all rookie 6th round pick out of the Kansas State? What y'all think about Mr. Deuce Vaughn? What grade would y'all give him so far? What grade would y'all give him so far? Let's see. Let's see. After the next comment, that's where I'm going to start it. The next comment, I'm going to start it. Tata says an A+ for Deuce. Okay. A+ for Deuce from John Cofield. Let's see. Joe Tranchina says A. Miss Patrice says A. Triple D says A. Mafia Mai says Deuce gets an A+. Excuse me. I give him a B for ballerina. Y'all going crazy.
Trap.
That boy got some sweet feet, don't he, man? Don't he? Pause, the young boys. I know y'all be lurking, but y'all get it. That boy is nimble. He's very nimble. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. That's Mr. Deuce Vaughn. Scott Rick says A+. DeQuincy says A+. Chris Hegan says A+. Brian Bradford says A. 5-time champ says A++. Wallace Bias says A. Mr. HTM Sports says Deuce get a S. He has surpassed the A. Amen.
Trap.
Some might give him a J because you know what you just called him, man. You called him Black Jesus, HTM. Said that boy was moonwalking on water with no problem, man. That's a cold dude right there. That boy, that's different. He moonwalking on water. Good grief. He ain't just walk on water. He moonwalking on water. Trap. Man, that boy, that's different. Tremaine says a A. iRock says A. D-Red Cowboy says A- to a B+. John Gilbert says A. Michael Lockhart says A. Darlene Mosher, I don't know if I ever seen you, but welcome to the Trinap. She says B+, A, B+, and if he's going to get even better, and that's what's going to make Dallas number 20 and number 242 is going to make our offense much better. Yeah, him and Tony going to be a crazy combination. Thomas A says A. D. Sweat says A+. C. Burleson says B. I think you can't go under a B for Deuce, bro. You can't. Trap. You go under a B for Deuce, I'm going to have to ask you this.
Smoke crack, don't you?
I'm going to have to ask you.
You smoke crack, don't you?
I don't want to do you like that, but
Look at me, boy. Don't you smoke crack.
you know, that'll be very concerning if you do that, man. It'll be very concerning. ACM said that man moonwalk grown men. Hey, man, that dude different, man. That different. See, you can't coach that, though. You know what I'm saying? That's one of one right there. He got a little different skill set, man. Like I said, his size is a con and a pro. You know what I'm saying? It's a pro and a con. Because the same stuff, he got certain limitations because of his size, but he got a lot of like cheat code type advantages because of his size too. And to be honest, I think he probably got more pros than cons from his size. That's something interesting, ain't it? You would think that he's small, so most people be like, nah, he's small and it's just terrible. Nah, if you list his pros and cons as far as his stature, I guarantee you'll have more pros because we seeing his size pay dividends right now. We seeing his size pay dividends now. If you was evaluating him to be a full-time back, that's different. But right now, you can see that his size is giving him a lot more advantages than it is disadvantages. I say that for sure. But, okay, now this one going to be pretty interesting as well. Mr. Jaylen Brooks, your 7th-round pick. How you feeling about him? And we're going to ride this thing on out. From what you seen from training camp to now, what you feeling about Mr. Jaylen Brooks? Because he just like Eric Scott. I think the preseason bright lights just got him a little nervous, man. I heard Brian Schottenheimer say the same thing. He said he felt like the game was just coming too fast for Jaylen Brooks in the preseason game. He said he just needed to relax and calm down a little bit. I probably could say the same thing about Eric Scott. I think the bright lights just got him a little bit. You know, it takes time to, get ready for this big moment. This the biggest moment of their lives, y'all. This the biggest moment. Eric Scott coming from a smaller school too. And, this is the biggest moment of his life. He getting to play for the Dallas Cowboys. So some of them boys might just be a little nervous. And, as they keep getting their reps, they'll get better and better in the preseason. So what y'all feeling about Mr. Jaylen Brooks? Let's see. I'm going to start with Terry Stewart. He says incomplete for JR. Nah, who is JR? Junior Fehoko? You must be behind. You mean JB, Jaylen Brooks, I guess. Chata says incomplete. Michael Lockhart says Jaylen B is a B. Okay. Miss Patrice says C+. Let's see. DeQuincy says a B. Joe Tranchina says C. Mafia Mind says Jaylen Brooks gets a B based on where he was drafted. Okay. I ain't really counting the draft status really, but I think he been doing pretty good though, honestly. Except for preseason. Preseason is making it go down a little bit. C. Burleson said Will Grill don't help at all, but Will Grill ain't helping nobody, is it, C? He ain't helping no one. That's the problem. None of them quarterbacks. I'm not fond of none of them quarterbacks. We might need to go get a quarterback. Y'all do know Mr. Carson Wentz is available now. Trap. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't like Carson Wentz as a quarterback. I don't want him to be my backup. But I would want to see him sign with us just so I can see all the crazy headlines that's gonna be out there. Cause they gonna hate us out, boy. If the Cowboys sign Carson Wentz as a backup quarterback, I guarantee you the next day you're going to see some headlines saying that he should start over Dak Prescott. Some crazy stuff. Watch. I just wanna see that. That's all. We can pick up Carson for the backup quarterback, let the headlines come out, and then fire him. I just want to see that happen, you know what I'm saying? I just want to see it. Because I know how they gonna act. I know how they behave. They don't know how to behave themselves. They gonna say some of the craziest stuff in the world. So, yeah, we need a backup quarterback bad. But let's see what the finishing people saying about Mr. Jaylen Brooks. Main purpose says B+, practice C+. C game. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Jaylen Brooks was looking spectacular all count. And then all of a sudden, the lights came on. I was looking for him. We had a flashlight in the daytime looking for him, man. Trap. Have you seen Jaylen Brooks? Because I ain't seen him. He finally made a nice little catch. It was a third or fourth down catch last game. He made a diving, nice little catch on the sideline, kept the drive going. So he made an appearance. But I've been looking for him with a flashlight on in the daytime, like Future said. We've been searching for him, and we ain't found him. So maybe he a little, like I said, Brian Schottenheimer said he was a little nervous. He can tell that the game was going a little fast for him. Brian Schottenheimer spoke on Jaylen Brooks specifically, so that's why I keep referring to that. But I want to see more from him, man. I want to see more from him. He got to build on what he been doing in training camp, and you know, he got one more game to do that. And I think the team kind of fond of him too. But he gotta prove himself. Do y'all think he can make this team? Yeah, TJ Vasher was a camp hero when it called. Y'all make sure y'all go holler at Cole. He do content too, man. You know what I'm saying? But TJ Vasher was a camp hero. And next time you know, you didn't see him no more. So, you know what I'm saying? He made the one-hand catch, and it was over with. You ain't never see that guy ever again. I don't even know if he's still in the NFL. So, we don't want Jaylen Brooks to be like that, especially with him being a draft pick. But you remember early in camp, they were saying Marino Cropper was better and all of this, and you don't hear too much from Marino Cropper either. So, bro, we been seeing this if you've been tapped in, but now a lot of the casual people, a lot of the people who really ain't, you know, who don't follow the team as closely, now you see what the difference is between training camp and preseason. Then it's a whole nother transition from preseason to the regular season. These dudes got to be able to perform at these different levels. It's like stepping stones. It's like, okay, I passed this training camp test. Now I got to take this preseason test. Oh, I stumbled with the preseason test. Now you can't be on the regular season. That's how I go for some of these young people. That's just how I go. So every step is a process. Every step is a stepping stone for these young men to be able to come and actually get some real reps and actually make this 53-man roster and be a real part of this football team. And that's a test that some of these guys just won't pass. Some of these guys will be at the practice squad. Some of these guys will be, you know, working with a regular job or going to another team. But we'll see what happens in the future for the rest of these young players, man. But I think Will McClay did a great job at selecting some of these guys. We ain't even getting to the UDFAs, but we already know the ones we like. Isaiah Land has been phenomenal from what I've seen. And I think he's gonna be one of the people that push for a roster spot somewhere. He gonna push for a roster spot somewhere. And what other UDFA y'all think got a chance? Hunter Lupke might have a chance because of him being one of the only people that got the skill set that he has. So he might be one of the only people that can actually push to make the roster. I wouldn't say Princeton Fant because he's too short. He might be a tight end. No, he might be a fullback candidate. I just don't see him being like 6'2" and being a tight end. I don't remember a tight end being that short like that actually played. So we'll have to see about him. What other UDFA before we wrap this up? Who y'all think got an actual shot, at being on this team, on this 53-man roster? I think Isaiah Land for sure. I think Isaiah Land got the best chance out of all of them. Chata said, Hunter Rumpke, why you gotta do these people like this? Why you gotta be this way this early in the morning, Chata? Good grief. He said he's a practice squad dude for sure. I think he'll be on the practice squad, but you know, he might get a couple calls up. Because the reason I say that because we don't have many people with the skill set he got to be a short yardage kind of guy. We don't have many people with that kind of skill set. So it's a space for him. Asim was a draft pick. Asim Richards was a draft pick. So we talking about some of the undrafted free agent guys. Chata said, I got the job. Dallas calling me now. Hey, man, go turn up for us then, man. We finna win the Super Bowl then. I already know it. Chris Higgins said, we'll agree. I'd get RG3 out of retirement for him. I ain't no telling what RG3 can do right now. But, yeah, I just wanted to check in with y'all on that type of conversation, man. I think we got a nice little rookie class. Even though the top end is a little in doubt right now. They in a little question right now. But I still think they'll do well in the future. But, man, I appreciate everybody that's came through, stopped by, and pulled up to the trap, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like and share for the squad. It will not charge a card. Y'all make sure y'all support Landlord Sports. I appreciate y'all, man. Let's get it. Ride this thing on out.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for some film sessions, man. I'm trying to put in that work for y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like. Let's go.
And this is greatness defined. Every line is divine. Verses boggle your mind. And every song, man, I swear, just get better with time. No matter how much shade they throwing, I still manage to shine. I don't know why they so obsessed with mine. I'm all they think about. Go in their house, they probably got my pics in a shrine. Damn, I never let these play me. They see us ballin', now they wanna switch teams like KD. I know my time coming, I guess I'ma wait and see. Help me with my egotistical ways, but I'm amazed how they display such miserable hate. I never paid attention to what most to say. Their words are unemployed like prepositional phrase. They wanna see me crash and burn in a ridiculous blaze, but yet I rise like the Phoenix. Show these I'm great and yeah, I know these haters can't stand me. Well, take a seat, I do it for the family. So bring the block to the Grammys, and if you try to stop me, you need a plan B, yeah. I just do it for the real. If you ain't from the bottom, you ain't get how I feel. To go against the odds, go hard, chase meals, let doubters till you make it. Show them all you the greatest, I'm the great. Young poet got flow flowing, it's mind blowing. I'm flamboyant when brainstorming, it's fair warning. For my opponents, there will be mourning before the morning. Every beat I eat and destroy it, that's what the fans wanted. The hot topic, you try to copy, that's hard stopping. Yeah, I'm a giant when rhyming and y'all microscopic. I got them watching and they believe in me like a prophet. Custom pics I'm cropping, be masterpieces, they photoshopping. I'm from the bottom, assembled by the avenue, so I gotta pay homage to the hood to show my gratitude. And then my attitude is similar to an animal. These niggas ain't half as cool, I got different levels to tap into. I am the truth. To know that I kill it, these are God level lyrics. I should be on Mount Olympus. My music therapy.
You know I had it plugged up. I was using the neighbor's Wi-Fi, but we got it right though. You know?
I'm the great. Yeah. I know these haters can't stand me. Well, take a seat. I do it for the family. So bring the block to the Grammys, and if you try to stop me, you need a
in the world, man. I appreciate y'all.
I just do it for the real. If you ain't from the bottom, you ain't get how it feel. To go against the odds, go hard, chase meals, let the doubters see you make it, and show them all you the greatest. I'm the greatest.
And not only am I the greatest, we are the greatest. You know they hate us because they ain't us. You know them haters want to try to suppress our success. But nevertheless, we pass every single test with flying colors like no other. And like I say, 1K, one love, Cowboys Nation. Let's go.